Hello, welcome to OMAT. Glad you're here. We're going to start the 8 exercises that for me, they help regulate my mind and my body. I really believe that really is all self-help is. Self-help could be very confusing because sometimes I say, hey, make sure that you get rest. And sometimes I say, are you working? Are you getting your stuff done? And sometimes I say things like push through. Sometimes I say take a break. And the thing is for self-help is not certainty. It's gaining flexibility. Like I used to get overwhelmed and I would procrastinate, I would shut down, I would cry. Those were my options. With self-help, I widen my view of options. I have a little more flexibility and I don't ignore the overwhelm. I see what I need. Maybe I need to call someone. Maybe I need to journal. And before you roll your eyes at journaling because somebody else is telling you to journal and self-help and all of that, I rolled my eyes as well. But I keep in mind the alternative is shutting down. The alternative is so much more painful. So let's give it a try. Let's give things a little moment of our attention to make decisions, to soothe ourselves, to self-help. Let's get into this practice. First, the practice of getting present with anything that we do. Sometimes before a meeting, I take 1 minute to slow down, to make a decision, to be willing to get into that meeting. Otherwise, I go into it and people can tell I'm somewhere else. So let's be here. Maybe taking a deep breath and getting into our first exercise of gratitude. Why do I exercise gratitude? Because I'm building the muscle so that I can reach for it a little faster. Because I was able to reach for negativity super quick, just like that. So me building that gratitude muscle, now I could reach for that at least equally. Let's try it out. Let's look for some gratitude right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. And this helps me practice. I want to be a person who looks for good, as opposed to a person who always has that quick reaction of, here's what's wrong with that. That doesn't feel good. And I don't want to add to my feelings of not feeling good. I want to add to helping myself, soothing myself. Here's another thing that helps. Meditation, a pause, a break from the thoughts, a break from thoughts just enter my mind. They just go where they want. I decide. Let's practice. Let's sit in any comfortable decision, eyes opened or closed. Breathe. As we come back, let's find the water. You know, sometimes taking that break, all of a sudden the anxiety starts floating in. What do? You might have had that whole minute just kind of wrestling with the fact that you can't stop your thoughts. It's all right. Take a deep breath. Let's exhale our way into this next exercise. None of this is going to be perfect. We are practicing. Let's practice writing. Let's practice writing any word. Get that pen on that pad and look for any word. Start there and go. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. Finding the end of the exercise, even if that feels a little uncomfortable, transition yourself. Because what if you wrote something like, I don't know, the cat in the hat? What does that mean? Nothing. Let's move on. We don't have to analyze. Let's stretch a little bit. Let's elongate our body. Stand if you could stand. I'm going to walk us through a sun salutation. Do any of the poses. Inhale your arms up. Now we're reaching up, looking up. If you want to stay in that pose for a couple more seconds, go ahead and fold forward when you're ready. You're hinging at the waist and sort of flying until your back is rounded and you're hanging over your feet. When you're ready, halfway lift with a flat back that's parallel to the ground. Look up. And now let's get into our high plank. Plant your palms right where they are. Put them down on the ground and step your feet back into a high plank. Then lower your body slowly all the way until you get to the ground. Push against the ground and your chest comes up. Head comes up, look up. And let's meet in down dog. Hips up into an upside down V with the body, trying to get the heels as close to the mat as possible. And then walking forward towards your hands. Rise up, meeting the palm above the head and exhaling them down to the center of the chest. Maybe taking a deep breath here. That can be part of it. Allow the flexibility that your body and mind might be requesting at the moment. Try it out. It's an experiment. Let's have some water. And that water helps us transition because we're already doing something different. Let's get into our next exercise of planking. Full muscles. All of your muscles are working during this plank. So let's get willing to generate that energy. Let's be willing to get into that plank pose. Be willing to be willing. Whatever it takes. What does it take? A deep breath, a grunt. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and up in plank pose because that's what we're doing right now. Take it up into the plank pose for just 1 or 2 seconds. We're 10 seconds into this exercise. Why do I say just get up into the plank pose and then make a decision? Because that's how we can make decisions all day long. That's 20 seconds. We can conjure up enough energy to start it and then see if motivation or momentum can take us to the rest of the time. For 30 seconds, we're generating that momentum, continuously saying, I can stay up in this pose. I am willing to stay up for 20 more seconds. And if you did come down off the pose, this is very challenging. Take a deep breath, come back to the challenge. Meet the challenge for maybe 10 more seconds or even 1 more second. You know, every moment here counts. Let's keep going for 3, 2, 1, and you're done. That's today's plank. Come down off your plank. Maybe stretch your way back. Maybe just pause for a moment. Meditate for 10 seconds to get out of that exercise. Whatever you need, including water, including a little pat on the back. Sometimes we stretch, reach up afterwards, and then reach back. Pat ourselves on the back because it takes thought and your mind and body working together in order to move us through our day. Let's keep using that. Keep using our mind and body. We're going to break some procrastination. How do we do that in 1 minute? We can't write an entire book. We can't fix our entire house, our entire mind, our entire body, but we can exercise a way to find the smallest thing that we can do so that we're practicing taking action. Let's look for the next right action and take a small one right now. Let's wrap the task for now, and that's part of it. Having some water. When I say it's part of it, sometimes it's hard to start and sometimes it's hard to stop. So we're practicing all of that by moving along into our next exercise of connection. And what if I don't know who to connect with, who to say hello with here? That's all right. That's very useful information. We don't have to only connect with our best friend, our cousin. There's not a list necessarily. We could make a list, but we could also look for a group of like-minded people to join, to get camaraderie, to have a community. We could find an event. We could reach out for professional help. Let's see how we can connect by trying to connect, taking time right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. Maybe you found a way to connect. Maybe you found a little more confusion, but we exercise that part of the body that looks for that connection. Our mind knows that's what we were looking for. Let's keep going, transitioning into our final exercise here. Exercise in any way, walk around, jumping jacks, whatever you want, but let's shake it off. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1, move your body. Start going right now. Why? Because this is the exercise we're doing for right now. Let's take this minute. That's 10 seconds. If you haven't started, now is a good time to start. If you did start and it's already getting challenging, then this is what this exercise is about now. We're 20 seconds in. Let's see how we meet this challenge 1 moment at a time. Making sure we're breathing. What do you have left for 30 seconds? We're more than halfway done. Do you still have some energy to put in there? Do you know how to conjure up your energy? Let's practice. For 20 seconds, let's look for what we need to continue going without hurting ourselves. Also noticing if we are hurting ourselves, we are allowed and can stop. For 10 seconds, let's find whatever we need to keep going in the way that our mind and body work together. For 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Those are the exercises. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking OMAT.